Okay, so I found out about Dr. Nemec through a good friend of mine whose son was experiencing the exact same things that my son was going through. And
And say what those symptoms are.
yeah, the symptoms that I noticed immediately after receiving his MMR vaccine, I noticed immediately that he stopped talking the same day. He literally stopped eating, and he had a spiking fever, in which I was told he would not have. And this went on for 3 weeks. And finally, he just started completely not looking at me, not communicating, and I started doing a lot of research and reaching out to friends and family doctors and so forth, and everybody kept saying the same thing, and no one was taking me seriously. And then finally, I just reached out to that friend who came to Dr. Nemec, and after seeing her son, I ran into her in a restaurant. And her son, I saw him, and I was like, "Whoa, this is not the same kid. He's so balanced and so calm and so everything." And with my son, he was really agitated and stressed. He was just always like, clenching his body a lot, and I didn't know what to do. So finally, when she told me that she came here, I said, you know what? I got to figure things out. I gave them a call and got some blood work done, and last week was our first visit. And after the first week, I noticed that the agitating that he was doing and the clenching of his body, he would do that at least, I would say, between 7 to 10 times a day. And I don't think I've even seen him do it maybe 3 or 4 times within a whole week. And that's after the first week of balancing his body. So I must say that I believe that, this balancing what he's doing is working. And my son sat through a whole hour of oxygen with a mask on, and I couldn't even get him to go to school with a regular mask on during the pandemic. So that was a huge, 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 huge change for me. So.
And you said, again, all this is neurological insult.
Yes.
So when the nervous system gets damaged or inflamed, we have neurological reactions. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a vaccination, it's a toxin, it's a food, it can be a combination of all these things, and it usually is. Mm-hmm. But you noticed it after the vaccination. But we have patients that come in with their children. They didn't have the vaccination. They just were eating inflammatory foods over years, and other things triggered more inflammation in the body. Then it insulted the nervous system with any type of symptom you could imagine. Mm-hmm. And so the beautiful thing is, and that's why I wanted you to share, is in just 1 week of resetting his system, working on his diet, doing treatments and therapies and supplementation, he is so tremendously better. And here's a child that in a standard system, they would medicate him.
Yeah.
And they would say he's not normal, he needs medication. And the answer is he needs to be balanced, his system, so it works the way it was created to work. Mm-hmm. Which unfortunately sometimes with inflammatory foods or chemicals or toxins or even vaccinations, they throw the system off. Yeah. And then we get the results. So I'm just so excited you and your husband are on the program with him as far as supporting him. And that's why I know he'll do wonderful. Because if after 1 week he's that much better, we're just beginning.
It was actually after 3 days I noticed the difference, but I summed it up to a whole week because it's been exactly 1 week. But it's actually after 3 days I noticed a huge change. But I thought it was a placebo. I thought I was just not really, right. Just overthinking this, but I paid more attention to him, and I started noticing a lot of changes in everything, and mind clarity. Like I would ask him to do 3 things at one time, and I could say, go up the stairs and grab this and bring this down. Those things I couldn't do before, and now he's able to do all those things.
And then the one thing your husband said, when he does those learning games on the video,
yes,
it said that's when he would start getting tense and shaking when he was doing them.
Clench up.
And he's not like that. I mean, I just saw him on that. And he's just like natural.
Natural. He would clench up, and this is several times a day.
And he
numerous
had that
times a day.
for how many months?
I noticed it, I would say at least a couple of years now.
A couple years.
Yeah, a couple of years. But after that, the vaccination, I have to say that because that's when I noticed the whole change was after that. He just shut down. He didn't talk as much. He's the eye contact. Now I'm getting eye contact and I'm getting pointing. He's pointing at stuff like, I want, he's giving me full sentences. I want that. Or he's even using proper grammar. Can I have the phone, please? Versus blue phone or green phone.
Right.
Now, can I get the phone, please? Or can I get the blue phone, please? And
Beautiful.
when I started seeing all that, I'm like, okay, this is...
So he had some imbalance before the vaccination.
No.
Nothing, totally fine.
I have videos of him laughing and playing.
Oh, so
singing
everything was after the vaccination.
the same day.
Oh, okay.
The same day.
So again, that's the insult.
Yes, and then with the casings from the cheese
And the diet and all the other
yeah.
things and all the inflammatory factors that standard Americans put in, and that's why we test all those things.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Thank you for sharing, and we will update as time goes on.
Yes.
Anything you'd like to tell parents or people out there that have something going on?
Well, I did promise God that if I start to notice any changes in my son, I was going to share my story with everybody and any and everybody, because, as Caribbean people, we tend to kind of hold back and hold things to ourselves because we don't think people are going to believe us or whatever. But I decided that I'm going to share this because it is very important for people to understand how important it is to balance the body. Like, I did not see this coming. I had doubts. And after 1 week, it's been proven. So, as a mother who loves her child unconditionally, I would say that you guys out here who are having the same issues with your child, I would get in touch with Dr. Nemec as soon as possible. Do your research, and come on in. I mean, it's the best thing for you. I mean,
well, the thing is, the reason I know your son will do well is because he has so much love from you and your husband.
Yes.
And see, whenever I see that, I know how the end result's going to be, because I will tell you what to do. We will instruct you. We will do the treatments and therapies needed. But when he goes home, that's his whole life.
Yes.
And if he's got all this imbalance at home, then it's hard to heal any system. But that's why I love seeing you and your husband, because you are one and you're really connecting. And that's why it's already done. It's just time's just a detail.
Just waiting for the process to continue.
So thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.